You guys already know the deal. XRP, the standard. It's not just a meme. It's not just a funny joke. This is the reality we have now entered, folks. We got the trillion-dollar woman, Rosie Rios, getting excited about XRP as well. Full breakdown for you guys today on this situation. We're going to talk about the escrow, and we're going to talk about some crazy TA. Now, nobody wanted to talk about the TA. Everybody was mad at me for clickbaiting the TA, and then we get that ruling out of nowhere. We've entered a new reality, and we're going to have a lot of fun, but we got to be prepared. I've been putting out the warning. It's going to be a good time. Chaos taking place around us, and the violent price action. You better have the stomach for it. I got to give a huge shout out to Chris from XRP Vegas for the awesome t-shirt here. It actually has... got David Schwartz on the rocket ship on the back. Huge shout out to all the XRP community, guys. This has just been an amazing week. So excited to celebrate with you guys. But we are right back to work. Let's get it, folks. So right now, the crypto market, we are at 30,300 for your Bitcoin, 1934 for your Ethereum, and 72 cents for our XRP. Building structure right now for XRP before the next move, so stay ready. Coinbase will stop staking services in the United States. So Coinbase pulling out of the staking program, and we're going to continue to watch their lawsuit, how it unfolds. But it looks like they are pulling this, as many other exchanges in the US have done the same thing. You know, which brings me back to Ethereum. I'm so curious to see how this ends up playing out with Ethereum, because moving to proof of stake, ETH 2.0 was a complete flop, that whole rollout. And, you know, is the SEC ever going to go after them? Probably not going to be holding my breath on that one. But if all these exchanges can't offer staking, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how Ethereum and some of these other projects get around that. Now, I want to touch on this. This is very important, folks. So everybody's asking, well, why isn't XRP just right up to $589 right away? Why are we back down? I thought we were only going to go up after victory. That's not how markets work. That's not how they've never worked. And you have to take a look around, okay? Take off the blinders. Yes, the future is bright. It is clear. We do have clarity. It's amazing for the XRP community. We have set the standard. But everyone else is burning down around us. And what am I talking about? Continue to watch Tether on Binance US collapsing. Went down to about 88 cents the other week, or earlier this week. Now we're down to 70 cents. Tether has completely depegged on Binance US. Tether provides over half of the liquidity, half of the volume for trading in this market. So if we're seeing major stablecoins go down, major exchanges go down, all they're going to have left to list is going to be XRP. The XRP listing might actually save some of these exchanges, right? And so we have to be aware of this, right? It's not going to go up just in a straight line. Okay, we're going to consolidate here before we make the next move up. But we also have the potential for this whole space to continue getting squeezed out. You know, Larry Fink, BlackRock came out, like the whole space is excited about the Bitcoin ETFs, but folks aren't looking at the details. They're reading headlines. We're cheering that BlackRock's coming into our space. How does the elite move in all of these asset classes, right? And so you got to be prepared. Right now, Tether's being depegged right now. We've talked about the Tether issue for a long time. And so just be ready, folks. It's you know, we're not going to have, we're not going to be unblemished on the way up from here, right? We're still going to have pullbacks. I'm going to show you some TA at the end of this that's absolutely violent. I'm not even ready for it, guys. This is going to shake me up. I know it will, because we're going to be doing the calculations every single day, looking at our bag, how much it's going up, how much it's going down. And the roller coaster is going to be unbelievable. But stay focused right now. Have a plan, because the shakeup is not done. We're not in the clear. We're not on XRP Island yet, sipping Mai Tais. We got to stay tapped in. Now, with that being said, let's get right on into it, folks. Who is on the train now? Incredible work by the entire Ripple team. Now, just think about this. Rosie Rios, 43rd Treasurer of the United States, created over $1 trillion worth of currency. They call her the trillion-dollar woman. Why would she care about XRP getting clarity? A woman who was tasked with actually designing the modern dollar bill. Her signature is on over $1 trillion worth of notes, the most in history. Why would she care about coming to be on the board of directors of a little startup company out of San Francisco called Ripple? Why would she be celebrating, you know, making memes with us about getting on board the train? Who's on board the train now? as we are the only digital asset in the United States with clarity. Think about this, folks. This is a completely different story taking place here with XRP. This is not just a regular crypto, and the new reality that we've entered is something that has not been seen yet in the cryptocurrency space. And like Larry Fink said yesterday, you are going to see some cryptocurrencies potentially surpass traditional currencies. So that's Larry Fink's words, not mine, right? That's not some Twitter bro saying that XRP is going to replace the dollar. That's Larry Fink saying that these are going to have a tremendous role in the new financial system. And then how the hell did we get the 43rd Treasurer of the United States to get on board the XRP train? Now let's listen to yesterday, and I want to make this note too. This shows you how real Brad Garlinghouse is. Before he spites Charles Gasparino, we're going to talk about that. Charlie's all mad. And love to see it. Before he goes on Bloomberg, I'm going to show you guys this clip. Before he did all that, what did Brad Garlinghouse do? A man of the people. He showed up in Twitter space with the XRP community yesterday. Huge shout out to Tony Edwards, Thinking Crypto, and Darren Moore Jr. Those guys were able to pull Brad in for a Twitter space first thing yesterday morning, his first appearance after the ruling. He doesn't go to the big time. No, he comes to the people, just like he did in XRP Vegas when he told the XRP army, we're going to win this thing and then we're going to throw the proper party. It's time to start planning, folks. Let's listen in here on Brad Garlinghouse, though. Just a huge shout out to Brad.
The law of the land. In some ways, it's ironic. The mission statement of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission is to protect investors. They went after Ripple, suggesting that all kinds of things, everything we were doing was selling an unregistered security, and the judge really very clearly said, sales through exchanges, not a security. When it's used for compensation, not a security. When it's used for incentives around the overall XRP ecosystem, not a security. So, we have already moved a lot of our activity, and frankly, 95% of our customers are non-US. So a lot of our activity has been outside the US jurisdiction because that's where our customer demand is. But I think that's where the US is losing. And I think what the SEC has been trying to do is to put power and politics over what is really just sound policy and providing clear rules of the road such that entrepreneurs and investors can participate in this amazing new market around crypto and blockchain technologies.
So this is still a legal process playing out. I think people watching, an SEC appeal process, what that looks like. What does it mean for your company in your business in the interim?
Look, as a matter of law, the law of the land right now is that XRP is not a security. And until there is an opportunity for the SEC to file an appeal, which would take years, and frankly, we're very optimistic. If they were to file an appeal, we think that only further solidifies the decision this judge made. Because, look, as a matter of law, as a matter of the facts, and really as a matter of looking back in the history here, for the SEC, really, it's overreach to suggest, as the chair has said many times, that basically everything in the crypto space is a security. Well, we now have a judge very clearly saying that is just not true, and very clearly saying XRP is not a security on exchanges and all these different use cases, which I think helps the whole industry for sure. So this is a win for Ripple. It's also a win for the entire crypto industry. And I think that's why you saw the crypto industry react so positively over the last 24 hours.
Incredible work by Brad. And like I said, that means just so much to me. I mean, it speaks to the character of this guy. The fact that he showed up at a Twitter space with the XRP community before he went to Bloomberg. Before he put on the suit and went and hung out with the big boys and girls, he came to be with the people. And that's what this man's about. That's what Ripple and their mission is about. Putting a dent in the universe and serving all 7.5, nearly 8 billion people on this planet. And Brad sticking by his word, standing for the truth, and victory has been achieved. What an amazing opportunity here, folks. And now we watch Charlie. Oh, Charlie. Now, he knows what he's doing, triggering the XRP community, trolling. He's good at that, just like he does with the AMC apes. But I did find it funny just how spiteful he was. And then he's been talking about, how is Brad and the Ripple going to be able to pay the SEC fines? Where's that money going to come from? It's like, don't worry, Charlie. We got big bags over here. Brad's got it like that. Ripple's still sitting on over $1 billion cash. Don't worry, Charlie. We're going to be just fine, okay? You stick to your little work on Fox Business. It's real cute. Go keep hitting the gym. Yeah, getting your pump in, little guy. Little Charlie. He says, I wanted no interview, never asked. Eleanor Terrett did because she's the axe on the Ripple beat, but we are now doing a story on how much money Ripple will be paying, if any, to settle part of the SEC case it lost. Where are they getting it? From the balance sheet, XRP sales? Oh no. Don't worry, Charlie. Brad Garlinghouse comes in, though, classy as ever. Charlie, happy to come into the studio anytime to discuss the facts. Any attempt by the SEC to paint this as some sort of split victory is pathetic. They lost on everything that matters, as many lawyers have noted, not just Ripple's. How about that? He says, to your question here about potential penalties, that's up to the court to decide, not the SEC. You very well know this case was never about fines or penalties. It was about establishing the non-security status of XRP. We won, they lost. There's the picture in XRP Vegas from Brad Kimes, Digital Perspectives. Huge shout out. The OGs, Brad Kimes, John Deaton, Brad Garlinghouse, DAI, and Mr. Cool Guy. Not sure who this gentleman is, but what an epic picture. What a fantastic time. In Vegas, turning up. We knew we were going to win. Now we're here, and the rest of the space is trying to catch up. Now we're starting to see here, Congress is watching, folks, and we get Patrick McHenry and Congressman GT, who is that? Oh, Glenn Thompson from the Financial Services Committee, issue a statement regarding the court ruling in the SEC versus Ripple and the need for legislative clarity in the digital asset ecosystem to prevent further uncertainty in our financial markets. A little late, but hey, for us, we've won. Representative Mike Flood says the same thing. This decision is an enormous victory for the future of digital assets in the United States and American innovation. Now that Chair Gensler's spurious legal argument on XRP has been discredited, it is time for Congress to act where the SEC and Chair Gensler have failed. Couldn't agree more. Serving Nebraska's 1st District in the U.S. House of Representatives. Thank you, Mike Flood, for recognizing what we got going on over here. Now, here, we got to talk about the I know, $1 trillion question, quadrillion dollar question. What is going to happen with this escrow? Because remember what the judge ruled. The institutional sales constitute an investment contract, okay? And that is it. XRP itself is never a security. That's what she said. XRP itself is a digital token, similar to FinCEN, finding it to be a virtual currency. The wording used in this ruling from Judge Torres was digital token. And the only instance of XRP being sold as a security was when it was tied up in investment contracts to institutions, not programmatic sales to exchanges, not us on the secondary market selling our XRP. That is not a securities offering. Only the institutional sales with the contract involved. So I'm going to read through this thread, which I thought was absolutely epic, from Jimmy Valley. In fact, I put out the picture yesterday. I said we have a document here to add to the red folder. I don't know if you guys can see that. That is the official ruling, the order there on summary judgment. I had to get a binder clip. For that one because that one's a little bit bigger. 34 pages on that order from the judge. Huge shout out to Jimmy Valley. This journey's been so incredible, and I've learned so much from Jimmy. His expertise in securities law and everything has been tremendously valuable. And this thread right here that he breaks the situation down is absolutely on point. Take a look. And then this graphic too that they did, fantastic. So let's go through. What does the ruling in the SEC versus Ripple et al. Case mean for retail holders of XRP? There is excitement in the community after the news broke yesterday. However, there is a key element that has not been widely discussed. A thread on what the ruling means for the XRP escrow. Okay. Now, I definitely recommend you guys follow Jimmy, and then you can take a look here at this graphic that he put out. Very, very nice visual there. But let's go through this thread. It is well known within the XRP community that nearly half of the supply of XRP is locked up in a cryptographic controlled escrow. For some of that supply, it has been theorized that Ripple has engaged in option agreements with financial institutions to sell them XRP at a specific date and price. The details have not been publicly shared, though. The ruling yesterday has paved a clear path for programmatic sales of XRP on exchanges, but being defined as not a security. So remember, they stopped the programmatic sales a while ago, and they've only been selling to institutions for on-demand liquidity, but the programmatic sales have been ruled to not be a security, so Ripple can continue with those programmatic sales to exchanges if they so please. But what was classified as a security by the judge? Sales of XRP via written contracts to financial institutions, hedge funds, and ODL customers were deemed security transactions. Now, I'm going to come back to this, but that's the key word for me right there, written contracts, okay? Even though those entities classify as accredited investors and the sales were technically private placements exempt from registration, there is still a legal process to perfect those private placement sales of securities. Ripple did not file that paperwork called a Form D because Ripple's prior belief was that those sales were not securities. This is exactly what happened in the Kick Interactive case. And now you guys, if you guys watched my ODL flip of the switch, US ODL flip of the switch video that I dropped yesterday on YouTube, we brought up the Kick case, right? And I showed you guys how basically they had to pay a $5 million fine, and then going forward, they just had to register with the SEC on all future sales. So we brought up this Kick case yesterday, and what many legal commenters expected to be the result in the Ripple case as well. Here's where things get interesting. When a party fails to comply with Reg D, they can lose the ability to do many of the things that private placements allow for under the securities regulations, like taking advantage of well-known seasoned issuer status and other matters. Until February 2021, promptly following the Ripple lawsuit, the SEC routinely allowed bad actors to cure their foot fault violations and, for example, file a Form D to perfect the prior private placement and continue to take advantage of the Reg D privileges going forward. Curiously, shortly after Clayton left the SEC and before Gensler was confirmed by the Senate, acting Chairman Lee came out and prohibited this common practice of the SEC providing waivers in connection with and as condition to settlements. So basically, they stopped allowing this practice after Chairman Lee came out and prohibited this, which allowed folks to kind of make things right and proceed going forward. And Jimmy shares this video from attorney Jeremy Hogan discussing the surprise change in policy. So now that Ripple has been deemed a bad actor by failing to register securities for institutional sales, Ripple is still at the mercy of the SEC to determine whether to provide a waiver for the foot fault violation of conducting a private placement without filing a Form D. As in the library case, we now move to the remedy portion with respect to securities law violations, and we would reasonably expect that the SEC will seek to enjoin Ripple from conducting any further security offerings of XRP. Thus, without a waiver, which we should not expect from the SEC given its litigation posture throughout the case, any further written agreements with institutional buyers, hedge funds, or ODL customers will be prohibited by the injunction. So how do the big kids get their grubby hands on XRP from the escrow? I love how Jimmy puts that. The order would permit Ripple to continue to conduct programmatic sales where the participants are in a blind bid-ask transaction. So basically, you're selling off to the exchanges and you don't know who the buyer is going to be on the other end. One not aware of the identity of the other. So Ripple could distribute in this manner. But here the big kids screaming, what about me? Ripple is also free to continue to distribute XRP outside the US in those jurisdictions where XRP is not a security. Big kids in the US, but what about me is what they're going to be saying, right? You, sir, U.S. financial institution, hedge fund, or potential ODL customer must obtain your XRP directly from the market for the circulating supply. In other words, at retail. Oh, the horror. Now, a couple things on this. A couple ways that I think that they would be able to get around this. Like you said, outside the U.S., they would be good to go. So, for example, if, say, Ripple acquired a company that offers custody solutions like Medico in Switzerland, a company, a country where we have clarity, right? Then maybe that institution could, one, they could lease XRP from Ripple. Two, they could set up an account with Medico or somebody else outside the United States, or set up a holding company or entities outside the U.S. to take in that XRP, right? But then the other thing that I'm questioning, I still haven't got a clear answer, is, well, why couldn't they sell this XRP that's not a security, that's never a security, right? The only thing that's a security is that contract, that options contract that has expectations, that has timelines, lockup periods, this and that. That contract is the security, not the underlying asset XRP. So why would Ripple not be able to sell to an institution if they just don't have a contract? No contract at all, just, straight, I'm going to sell, you're going to buy, I'm going to receive dollars in exchange, right? Now, I would assume that any of those sales, they do have to have some sort of contract in place in writing. And so maybe there's just no way for them to do that type of deal with an institution without a contract, right? They're not doing handshake deals. But I'm just thinking, I'm like, well, what's stopping them from just selling directly to, like I said, you go around, you set up entities outside the US. There are ways around this for the big boys and girls to get their XRP. But it's interesting because it sets up a play here where their escrow does get limited in some sort of way or fashion, which is something that we've talked about for a while, which I do think contributes, as I've long speculated, to a supply shock that is incoming. And then the other thing too, I think people are confusing is that they think that on-demand liquidity in the US can't get fired up because of this. That's not true. Once you're in possession of the XRP, you're free to use it. Now, if you wrap it up into a contract, you could be creating a security, absolutely. But then the SEC is going to be coming after you, right? But as far as being able to utilize XRP, as long as you have the XRP now, you're good to go, right? And if you did a pre-allocation contract with Ripple, I'm not aware of any clawback laws where you'd have to give it back to Ripple. It's just a matter of Ripple would have to pay a fine for that pre-allocation contract, for that option contract, whatever it may be, right? So that's on Ripple to pay that fine. Your XRP is still your XRP, right? The other thing too is that this whole Form D filing for private placements and all this is for securities. It's for a company that's selling stock or a company or somebody who's selling a security. Ripple's not selling a security, right? It only becomes a security when it's wrapped up in that investment contract. So like I said, I still think that there's ways around this, whether the institutions have to go outside the US, they hold their XRP at an account with Medico in Switzerland, right? I think that there's multiple ways to go around this, and I think that I also think that Ripple's going to fight this. I think that Ripple's going to fight this, and this is the part of the case that could continue on for a while, is what type of contracts, what type of deals, what types of sales or offers they can do that don't actually create a securities offering. And so, it's one thing where either Ripple's going to fight it, or this is where we get that settlement. Ripple can cut a check and then proceed doing business with the clarity that they've always wanted. So nonetheless, folks, it's going to be exciting to watch where this goes from here. And I wanted to share a little bit of crazy TA before we headed out on this session here today. So let's start out with Dark Defender. He says, "Hi all, I hope all is well with you. Despite every challenge, XRP is following our positive technical path. Charts are always ahead of the news. XRP touched her final resistance at 89 cents. Please look at the chart and see how precisely we defined 89 cents, including the date it occurred. Breaking 89 cents will give us $1.73 and $3.39 in the short term, and $30 is now a mid-short term target. Short term resistances of 89 cents, $1.33, $1.73, and $3.39, and our supports are at 55 cents and 39 cents, respectively. There are no emotions, but facts, remember? The fact is, when you grab your morning, night coffee and check your XRP chart, you feel satisfied. Enjoy your day or your night, friends." We are just getting started, folks. Irish Red Crypto shares this. "If this pattern continues to play out for XRP, we have a dip to 52 cents, followed by a pump to $4.30, dip to $1.60, pump to $7.40, dip to $6, then pump to $18, then Goblin Town." I don't know what that means, but we're heading to Goblin Town, folks. You guys better be ready. It's been accurate as F so far. Let's see if it continues. And this is what I've been talking about. This is what I've been worrying about. This is what I want you guys to be prepared for, is the price action is going to be violent. Can you guys imagine a move back down to 50 cents right now? After we get clarity and everybody's excited, and people are literally already complaining about the price being back down to 70 cents. Like, guys, you aren't ready. I put out a video this morning, a little short XRP warning for everyone. And I said, guys, you're not going to make it to the dance if you're already getting shaken out by us going up to 90 cents and then back down to 70. You are not going to be ready from those moves where we go, 7 back down to 6, 3 back down to $1. On our way up to double digits and further and beyond. You got to be ready, folks. It's going to be violent. This is a new reality that we have entered, and you have to really consider everything that's taking place in the rest of the crypto space, everything that's taking place in the rest of the macroeconomic situation, and have a plan, stay prepared, stay focused, and keep on taking action. If you appreciate what we're doing here, please make sure you smash that thumbs up for me, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and everything is at my website, zachrector.com. God bless you all. We'll see ya.